Nah, we can do better. Alright guys, we got this 2013 Scion FRS. I think it's the same as the, I don't know, Subaru BRZ or whatever the case is. We've got the door tricked right now. We just took the screw out of this so that it thinks the door's up. Otherwise, when you open this, the door will go down slightly. I'm gonna show you how to tint this. This is a body shop account, so basically I've got to match this front window and quarter window. I already put one pattern on it, but I ended up not liking it. I had a little bit too much of a gap back there. I know I can do better, so went ahead and peeled it off. I'm not gonna make you guys sit through that, but basically we just have scrap pieces left over from another job, and that's what we're working with. Which is one really nice thing about these like short frameless windows. They really don't take up a whole lot of film. So in these body shop accounts, they're not bad accounts to have, at least in my opinion, especially if you have a halfway decent body shop. What we're going to do is actually peel that up out of the edge. And, whoa. Alright. What we're going to do is go ahead and we're going to cut this front edge right here to the correct size and shape. We have a little roundy round there. Rip that excess off. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull that forward just, I don't know, a little bit. Enough, right? So one thing I like to do differently on frameless windows than regular framed windows is on framed windows, you'll see me just use a hard card and I'll just kind of gently put it into place. I don't do that with these. I like to lock them down because we're going to shape them. So, a couple different ways. I mean, you could just get this close if you wanted to and then install it and then shave it, or you could file it. But if you're watching a how-to, you're probably not ready for those techniques yet. So I'll just show you how to do it the most simplistic way possible, and you're gonna get a good result. Might take you a couple of attempts, but okay, boom. Now, similar to our framed windows, we have to deal with this. Now, remember we have this little kind of cutout thing here, so we want to be kind of careful and mindful of that. We don't want to just go straight here, otherwise that's going to look like doo-doo. So what we're going to do is just kind of round that like so, and snap off yet another blade because it's dull. Okay, now we got this right here. Now, at least on these Scions or whatever, let me show you. Here's our outer seal. We've got all this to work with here. So if it's not super pretty, it's okay. Not likely anyone's ever gonna see it. And I just want to point out, this car's seen better days. So if we have a little bit of a cut line that's maybe not perfect or whatever, don't think it's gonna be an issue. So we'll just go ahead and just kind of round that off just the best we can. Just make that look nice and clean. Because if anything, that's probably the only thing that's going to stick out to somebody. Bottom edge, our bottom corner right here. Go ahead and cut it, round it towards the bottom. Now we're ready to heat shrink. Some of these frameless windows you can get away without shrinking. However, I just feel like, I mean, it takes you a minute, minute and a half. So you might as well. So one nice little tip I'm going to share with you that I didn't do on this car. If you have the door hinges that just aren't keeping that door open very well, what you can do is open this bad boy up all the way, take your vice grips, lock that down, and then that'll keep that locked. That door won't move around on you very much. These aren't terrible, so I'm gonna make do. But I've had some cars that are so loose that, I mean, they won't hold the door open at all. So you can see how we're getting that shrank real nice. Biggest thing is we don't want to burn this edge, because if we burn or melt that edge, then it's not going to stick. This top edge really doesn't need shrink on this particular car. If you got a Corvette, something like that, different story. Corvettes, I strongly recommend that you shrink them. I've already cleaned and prepped this window because, like I said, I've already installed one pattern. Now, I absolutely love frameless windows. Most of the time they are, you know, the gaskets are really, you know, pretty manageable, pretty loose. So generally it's not too big of a deal. Get your film tucked down in there. So go ahead and we'll just swipe this and swipe the bottom, and you know, because it's frameless and because we got the door tricked, there's no running the window up and down, there's no introducing contaminants to it by going up and down. We don't have to worry about the top edge getting grit off the top of the window frame. Like, overall, I feel like once you learn how to cut them, they're just really easy most of the time. I should have put the I should have repositioned this film, but should have repositioned it, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Ideally, if you had a peel board, you know, that would be the way to go. However, I don't. And if you're watching this video, you probably don't either. So that's, you know, kind of one of the reasons why. I still teach everything like off the car. I mean, there are advanced techniques and there are things that you can buy and there are ways that you can make this life easier. But I primarily make these videos for people that are just getting into tint. So if you're just getting into tint, then you probably don't have all that stuff. There we go. There we go. Got a little bit much right there, and looks like we're gonna have to trim this right here. So what we'll try to do, it needs to come down. Our film's already trying to tack up on us. Pretty frustrating, but there we go, there we go. That's nice, 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 nice. And we can deal with this here in a second. I'll just go ahead and give it a little push, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I want to mainly just make sure that our film is where it needs to be. You know, we could shave it, we could do a lot of things to it, and make it just absolutely perfect, but it's not really the right time for this, being that it's a, you know, body shop car. And it's also a car that's falling apart. So, it doesn't really make sense. Put a bunch of time into this. If you're doing this on your own car, you know, go for it. If you want to try to learn those techniques or whatever. But this little guy, I don't know what his deal is, because he shouldn't be there. Let's go ahead and work it out. Just work it out. Like, what in the heck, dude? It's just gonna be one of those days. Seriously, okay. Okay. I'll show you this little trick. Sometimes when things don't go your way, see if I can find a spot right here. Okay. Now, we've got a lot more moisture there. We've got a lot more control over where we want this to go. What caused that big finger is just where the film's not, basically wasn't trying to lay where I needed to lay. So, the dangerous thing about that is, if you're not careful, if you're in a bad environment, whatever, you can introduce a lot of dust and contaminants that way, or if you let it sit too long, you can get soap, you know, not soap, your glue can start to tack, and that will ruin, that'll ruin what you got going on there, because your soap will start to tack, and then when you peel the film away, you'll have these little dots. So we're just going to go ahead, basically just, I don't even know if you can see this, but we're just going to trim a little bit, and it's going to be covered by this seal, so it doesn't matter. But that's going to let that corner lay down, and that's going to help us out exponentially. We've got a nice gap right here, no big deal. You know, this is all covered. Now I'm going to split it right down the middle. I'm going to be careful though, I don't want to put too much pressure down, because I don't want to slide this pattern down. It's not super, you know what I mean, it's not super tacked up yet. We haven't really done any hard passes. So go ahead, let's get all this air out. Sometimes this will happen if you don't shrink. You'll get big fingers like that. But since we already shrank, and it was probably one we could have got away without shrinking, I knew it was because of the distribution. So, not a huge deal. Kind of inconvenient, but dude, I went the man, like the entire first pattern that I did, the whole thing, I didn't cough or like hack or anything, like at all. And then, you know, I was like, I don't want to make the video super long, so we'll just ditch that. And then, you know, then I start recording again and it's just like I have all kinds of sinus issues and stuff, so that's why I do it. I don't like to. It's just kind of part of life. So I just like to run my finger over everything and make sure it's all good. We're not going to get, you know, snagged up on anything. Honestly, I think these guys got this window out of the junkyard because it's not brand new. I think that's what they did. It's not in bad shape, but it's not in good shape either, so. Alright, so I'll show you guys a little trick. Here's that little piece that we snipped off that front corner. So look, you can see it just goes in there. You can't, I mean, it's all good. A couple little nicks in the glass I can see that's not from us. Some kind of dirt down there in the bottom seal. But as far as we're concerned, we're looking golden. So there's no turning back on this window now. If we decide we don't like it or whatever, we got to redo it because by now the film is going to be tacked up. We're not going to be able to lift it away and spray it and all that stuff. Show you a little trick because we have to do this quarter window and we don't want this door shutting and hitting that and damaging it. So pool noodle. Got several of these. I got 4. I got 4 that are cut. What you do is you just slice down the middle. So then when you go to put it on here like this, you just kind of want to make sure that you're not really pushing on this film that you just put on there. So we're good to go right here. Now if this shuts, it's not going to do anything. It's going to hit the pool noodle. It's not going to be a big deal. Alright guys, we got a low battery and it died on us, but I was going to show you guys how to do the quarter window. I got to put the little screw in here yet, but point out, yeah, it's pretty daggone close match. So that's how you do it. Get this video out, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.